The sun has been active again over the past few days. Strong flares, geomagnetic storm alerts, auroras drifting far from the poles, easy to treat as a spectacle. History suggests it's also a warning. In 1859, the Carrington Event struck Earth with a force we've never experienced in the modern age. Telegraph systems, the only large scale electrical technology at the time, began to spark, fail, even ignite. Operators reported being shocked. Some lines carried current with no batteries attached, powered entirely by the storm itself. The sky glowed bright enough at night to read by. Since then, smaller versions have tested us. The 1921 storm disrupted rail and communications. In 1989, a geomagnetic event knocked out Quebec's power grid in minutes. In 2012, a Carrington scale blast missed Earth by just over a week. What's changed isn't the sun, it's us. A major coronal mass ejection today wouldn't just hit one side of Earth and pass. It would distort the planet's magnetic field for hours to days, wrapping around the globe as Earth rotates. Some regions would take the brunt initially, but no interconnected system would be truly out of reach. And this is where everyday life comes into focus. The biggest risk is not that your phone or laptop instantly fries in your hand. Most small electronics are relatively resilient to the direct electromagnetic effects of a solar storm. The real vulnerability is upstream, power and infrastructure. If large transformers fail, entire regions lose electricity. Without power, cell towers shut down, internet nodes go dark, and devices that are perfectly intact become useless within hours. Your phone becomes a dead screen once the network and charging options disappear. Computers face the same problem, functional hardware with nothing to connect to and no reliable power source. Cars are a mixed case. Older vehicles with minimal electronics would likely keep running. Modern cars, especially those dependent on complex control systems, sensors, and GPS, could experience disruptions, though most wouldn't be permanently damaged unless they were directly connected to long conductors during peak surges. The larger issue is fuel. Gas stations rely on electricity for pumps and payment systems. Even working cars become stranded quickly in a prolonged outage. Appliances like refrigerators aren't destroyed, they just stop. And within a day or two, that becomes a food problem, not an electrical one. Satellites sit on the front lines. A severe storm can degrade or disable them, which removes GPS timing signals that power grids depend on to stay synchronized. That's part of how localized failures can cascade into wider blackouts. So the picture that emerges isn't one of everything being instantly fried. It's more subtle and more disruptive. Devices survive, systems fail. In a worst case scenario, you end up with millions of intact pieces of technology sitting inside a world that temporarily can't support them. Power returns unevenly. Networks come back in fragments. Some regions reconnect quickly, others take far longer, limited by how fast critical infrastructure, especially large transformers, can be repaired or replaced. Financial systems, cloud data, even crypto still exist in a technical sense, but access becomes the dividing line. If you can't power it or reach it, it might as well be locked away. The Carrington event showed what the sun can do to a simple electrical network. The near misses since then show it hasn't lost that capability. What's new is how much of daily life now depends on systems that quietly assume the lights never go out. Not something to live in fear of, but something to be aware of.